Here's a detailed overview of the April 22, 2025 Pahalgam attack in Jammu and Kashmir. Around 2:30 to 2:45 in the afternoon, 5 militants, 2 of them dressed in army fatigues and one wearing a traditional ferran, came out from the pine forest in Baisaran Valley near Pahalgam, and, well, they just opened indiscriminate fire on a group of tourists who were out enjoying pony rides. The attackers separated the men from the women, asked for religious identity, and forced victims to either recite the Islamic kalma or identify themselves as Hindu or Muslim, and then they shot the men at close range, many of them killed right in front of their families. Weapons recovered at the scene included AK-47s and M4 carbines. 26 civilians were killed, including 25 tourists and 1 local pony ride operator who, died trying to rescue them. The victims included Hindu and Christian tourists, 1 local Muslim, foreign nationals from Nepal and the UAE, a freshly married Navy officer, and an intelligence officer. The attack was carried out by 5 militants, who were identified later as 3 Pakistanis, Asif Musa Fauji, Sulaiman Yunus Shah, and Abu Talha, and 2 locals, Adil Guri and Asan, both trained in Pakistan. The Resistance Front, or TRF, which is linked to Lashkar-e-Taiba, or LT, claimed responsibility, saying they were opposing non-local settlers in Kashmir. Interestingly, TRF initially claimed and then denied responsibility. So, a massive counter-terror operation called Operation Tika was launched, involving the Army, CRPF, Jammu and Kashmir Police, and the NIA with drones, helicopters, and, a lot of surveillance. 3 Lashkar-linked suspects were arrested near Bandipora, and firearms were seized. Security forces compiled a list of 14 suspected terror raids. Houses of 6 were demolished, and, 3 suspects are currently under detention. The Jammu and Kashmir Assembly passed a resolution with a minute of silence and praised the bravery of the local pony ride operator. There were states of outrage all across India, with protests erupting in Jammu, flag-burning demonstrations against Pakistan, and honestly, rallies everywhere. Prime Minister Narendra Modi cut short his Saudi trip, while Home Minister Amit Shah rushed to Srinagar and, a full diplomatic and military escalation followed. India suspended the Indus Waters Treaty, revoked Pakistani visas, and expelled Pakistani diplomats. Operation Sindoor was launched with the Indian military striking militant camps inside Pakistan and Poke. Pakistan responded with artillery and drone fire. Tensions, as you can imagine, ran high between the 2 nuclear-armed neighbors. The attack severely impacted tourism. There were mass cancellations, flights dropped, and hotel bookings really plummeted. Local leaders recognized the impact on poor livelihoods, and authorities are working to reopen tourist sites and restore confidence. In summary, the attack took place in Baisaran Valley, Pahalgam, on the 22nd of April, 2025, around 2:30 in the afternoon. There were 5 militants involved. 3 were Pakistani and 2 were locals. Their motivation was to target non-Muslim tourists. Sadly, 26 people were killed, and about 20 others were injured. The response included swift security operations and arrests. The fallout has been major tensions between India and Pakistan, and a significant slump in tourism. Here's an enhanced, human-centered account of the Pahalgam Baisaran Valley attack on 22nd April 2025, with survivor testimonies, a detailed timeline, and broader impact. Around 1:35 in the afternoon, tourists, including families and honeymooners, arrived in Baisaran Meadow, a scenic mini-Switzerland spot accessible only by foot or pony. Then, at about 2:25, gunfire erupted. Survivors said 3 to 5 men dressed like security or wearing army fatigues emerged from dense woods and opened fire. They ordered victims to identify religiously, reciting the Islamic kalima, and targeted non-Muslim men. Some women were left alive to tell the tale. Survivors reported the attackers remained for more than 20 minutes, moving between groups and shooting point blank. Around 2:30, the first emergency calls were made by survivors. including a newlywed officer's wife, alerting police and CRPF. By arrival, attackers had fled into the forest using AK-47s and M4 rifles, leaving behind horrifying scenes. I fell down, lay on the ground for around 10 minutes while everyone was screaming. I thought they were army officers. Then, I realized they were terrorists. They were shooting indiscriminately. It was monstrous. My brother, who was an army officer, guided 30 to 40 people behind a mobile toilet to safety. We were just having belpuri. Then he said my husband isn't a Muslim and shot him. 26 people were killed, including 25 tourists and one local pony ride operator. The victims included Hindus, Christians, one local Muslim, foreigners, some newlyweds, and even an Air Force officer. 17 to more than 20 people were injured and taken to hospitals, some by pony and others by ambulances. Local ponywalas, including Syed Adil Hussain Shah, bravely confronted the attackers, saving many lives, even at the cost of their own. The remote meadow of Baisaran Valley is only about 5 to 7 kilometers from Pahalgam town, but with no road access, escape and surveillance were, honestly, extremely difficult. The security response was swift. Operation Tikka was launched involving the Army, CRPF, Jammu and Kashmir police, and even drones, leading to several arrests. India and Pakistan faced a major escalation. The land border was sealed, the Indus Treaty got suspended, and visas were revoked. Operation Sindoor struck terror camps in both Poke and Pakistan. In the aftermath, Kashmir experienced severe aftershocks. More than 2,000 people were detained, homes were demolished, and, there were growing concerns about human rights. The tourism industry just collapsed. Flight and hotel bookings absolutely plummeted. The chief minister expressed solidarity, saying, "The rich can wait it out, but the poor are devastated. But, spring will come again." Brutal targeting by identity. Religion was actually used as a criterion for slaughter. Remote area vulnerability was exposed. Tourist spots, honestly, need better rapid response security. Escalation risk was high. This, led to cross-border military action between nuclear-armed neighbors.